going? Lewis here from Monstack, and I'm going to be running you through a little bit of Magic the Gathering Tactics. Now, I downloaded this game about two days ago. I haven't had time to play it yet, but now we're going to have a quick run through and see what it's like. And we're going to start with the tutorials. I think you get some extra experience from doing that as well, which is pretty awesome. So let's start with Chapter 1, Moving, Attacking, and Turn Order.
A planeswalker is a powerful mage who is able to travel across the planes of existence. Only 1 in a million beings is born with the spark, the essence that allows one to become a planeswalker. Click OK to continue.
I'm guessing we're a planeswalker then, and we can travel the something to do with existence. Perfect.
You'll become a planeswalker when your training is complete. In Magic the Gathering Tactics, you'll create spellbooks of powerful creatures and spells to use against your opponent.
Okay.
Click a green square, and your figure will move there. Click an enemy in range, and you'll move next to it and make a melee attack.
I can't actually move. That's not very good. Ah, I see. So we can... right. Let's hit this. Okay.
Figures that can make melee attacks exert what's called a zone of control around them. Figures that enter a square that is under a zone of control end their turn in that square. Flying figures are not affected by zones of control of non-flying figures. Move the cursor around the enemy's target square to choose which square to attack from. Move the cursor over your opponent's planeswalker and click to attack it.
Okay. I don't think we're going to go straight on because that's just a bit silly, isn't it? It's a bit of a noobish move if you go straight on because they're just going to see you coming. So if we go a little bit from... Let's go from the right of him. And he'll probably just think we're walking by, and that's the trick. That's where we want to go. So, and then we'll just turn around and fucking Jedi him in the face.
That is how you perform a simple melee attack. You deal damage to the enemy based on your figure's power. But once each round, a defending figure will strike back with a counterattack of its own. Moving or attacking ends a figure's turn. You can see the turn order at the left edge of the screen, and that tells you whose turn it is next. Now, it's the opposing planeswalker's turn. Your training is proceeding well. In this chapter, you've learned how to move and attack. Moving or attacking ends a figure's turn. The turn order is displayed at the left edge of the screen. Click OK to exit.
Well, that was easy. That was probably... If only it was all that easy. Okay, so that's Chapter 1. So let's go on to Chapter 2. Summoning Creatures and Mana. Ooh.
To become a planeswalker, you must learn to control the magic forces of the multiverse.
I can do that.
Let's talk about how your planeswalker can summon creatures.
Okay.
Mana is the energy that powers all magic. The mana wheel displays how much mana you have in each of the 5 colors. You generate 1 mana at the start of your planeswalker's turn. This is based on the colors in your spellbook. You cast spells from your casting bar. A new spell is added to your bar at the start of your planeswalker's turn. Let's summon Rhea Dawnbringer so that she can join the battle. Move the cursor over Rhea Dawnbringer to display more information about her.
Let's have a look at this one. So she's flying and legendary.
Click on Rhea Dawnbringer to cast her.
Alright. So she's flying and legendary. Perfect. And we've got some trees. It's good. And some fire. It's a bit silly really, seeing as I'm green. You'd think I'd have more trees, but...
You can spend any color of mana to pay for a colorless mana cost.
Okay.
When you cast a spell with a colorless mana cost, an icon appears over that spell in your spellbook. Click on the green mana symbol 2 times and the red mana symbol 4 times to satisfy Rhea's colorless mana cost. You can summon a creature to any open square that is adjacent to your planeswalker. Click on the highlighted square to place Rhea Dawnbringer in that square.
We're going to go for the same tactic, I think, because head-on is just a noob.
Summoning allies is vital to the success of your planeswalker. In this chapter, you learned how to summon creatures, how to see your mana totals with the mana wheel, how you gain new mana and spells every turn, how to view creature information in your casting bar, how to pay colorless mana costs.
Good. Well, that was easy. That was summoning creatures and mana. So that's chapter 3, casting spells. Okay.
It's time for your training to continue. You've learned how to summon a creature, but there are other weapons in a planeswalker's arsenal. Now you'll learn how to cast a spell. You need to know what a spell will do before you cast it. Take a look at one of the spells in your spellbook. Move the cursor over Lightning Bolt to see more information about that spell.
Oh, sweet.
Like your creatures, each of your spells has a mana cost. Lightning Bolt costs 1 red mana, and you have red mana available. Click on Lightning Bolt to cast it. You have selected the spell that will deal the damage, and have paid its cost. Now all you need is a target. You can only cast spells on targets that are within line of sight of your figure casting the spell. You can mouse over different figures to see if they're within line of sight. You can also hit Escape to cancel a spell at any time. Click on your opponent's planeswalker to hit him with a lightning bolt.
Oh, we're going to Zeus this bastard.
You've dealt 30 damage to your opponent. Whenever his health reaches 0, that figure is destroyed. Spells are powerful weapons in the hands of a planeswalker. In this chapter you've learned how to cast spells, how to view spell information in your casting bar, how to specify targets after casting spells.
Oh, we're definitely acing this one.
Managing the abilities of your creature allies is key to victory. Creatures can move, attack, and in some cases make ranged attacks. Let me show you how that works. Your Elvish Archer is a creature that has a ranged attack.
Okay.
A ranged attack is possible only if the attacker has a clear line of sight to its target. Click on the opponent's planeswalker to shoot it with a ranged attack. Of course, a ranged attacker need not fear a counterattack from its target. Distance is also important, as ranged attacks deal less damage if the target is outside the effective range of the attacker. Ranged attacks are powerful abilities that can help you win. In this chapter you've learned how to launch ranged attacks. Each time one of your figures has a turn, the command bar appears. I'll show you how the command bar works and how to activate the abilities of your planeswalkers and creatures. The command bar displays the abilities that are available to a figure during its turn. Clicking on an ability in the command bar with a turn icon ends that figure's turn. Pass is an ability that ends a figure's turn.
That little dude down there is proper striking one out. Love it.
Defend is an ability that grants your figure plus 30 health, but prevents it from counterattacking for the rest of its round. Creatures that have just been summoned automatically begin to defend. Some creatures have other abilities in the command bar that you can use during their turns. It is now your prodigal Pyromancer's turn. Move the cursor over the Pyromancer's ability to see more information about it.
So he's
the Pyromancer's ability costs 1 red mana to use.
I was about to say
and this
that.
is a cost you can pay. Click on this ability in the command bar to use it.
Okay.
Once the Pyromancer's ability is activated, it's like a ranged attack. Now you need to select a target. Click on the opponent's planeswalker to target it with the Pyromancer's ability. Mastering the command bar allows you to use all the abilities of every figure in your spellbook. In this chapter you've learned how the command bar works. Abilities in the command bar such as Defend and Pass. Clicking an ability in the command bar with a turn icon ends a figure's turn.
Sweet. That's that one down. So figure stats. Okay, let's do this one. To be honest, I just want to summon a big-ass dragon.
Information is the key to victory. Knowing the abilities of every figure in the battle allows you to plan properly. You can gain additional information about a figure by right-clicking on it. Right-click your prodigal Pyromancer.
Oh, he has such a cool name.
The stats area of the detail window displays all stat information related to the selected figure. These stats include move, how many spaces this figure can move, initiative, The higher this figure's initiative, the sooner it takes its next turn. Power, the damage this figure deals in combat. Health, the damage this figure can take before it's destroyed. Range, the effective distance of this figure's ranged attack, if any. Note that a figure's power and health are often referred to by two numbers separated by a slash.
I love that, if any. Your character can do some real good damage, unless he's shit and can't do fuck all.
In the lower left of the detail window are icons you can mouse over to display information about this figure's abilities, if any. These abilities appear in the command bar during this figure's turn.
Your dude could be really good, or he could be really shit, if any.
In the lower right of the detail window are icons you can mouse over to display information about lasting effects like enchantments or other ongoing conditions affecting this figure. Information about the figures in the battle, both yours and your opponent's, will help you win. In this chapter you've learned how to view the detail window of a figure, what each stat displayed on a figure means, how to find out about the abilities of a figure, how to find out about the effects on a figure.
I think this dude's voice is slowly killing me. Oh, only 2 more to go. Casting spells that cost X. I've probably got tons
Some of
of
the
X.
most powerful spells of all have a variable casting cost. These spells include X in their casting costs.
Oh.
Let me show you how to cast one of these spells. Fireball is a spell with X in its casting cost. You can decide how powerful you want it to be. Click on Fireball to cast it.
Okay.
As before with a colorless casting cost, an icon appears on top of your spell. You can spend any number you like for X by clicking on your mana wheel. The total is in the symbol on top of your spell. Click on the green mana symbol 3 times to spend 3 additional mana on Fireball.
3? I thought we just... I'm clicking at mana. I thought we just want 1. Just an X, 1X. I don't use 3. Oh.
Your Fireball is powered with mana and ready to deal damage.
3 goddamn
Now,
trees.
select the target area for your Fireball. Now you know how to cast the most powerful spells in all of them. In this chapter you've learned how to cast spells that cost X.
Yeah, 3.
How to cast a spell that has an area of effect.
Perfect you in a minute. Ooh, chapter 8. Creating spellbooks.
Casting spells is not all there is to being a planeswalker. You must also construct your own spellbook. This is the spellbook editor, where you create your spellbooks before battle. To put a creature into your spellbook, double-click it. Double-click on Serra Angel to include it in your spellbook. You can have up to 4 copies of a spell in a spellbook. Also, spellbooks must have at least 40 spells in them for that spellbook to be valid. Now let's include 4 copies of Healing Salve. Double-click on Healing Salve 4 times to add 4 of them to your spellbook. You can remove spells from a spellbook by double-clicking on them at the bottom of the screen. Remember to save your spellbook after any changes to it. Now that you've mastered the casting of spells and the creation of your own spellbook, I think that your Planeswalker's spark is truly ignited. In this chapter you've learned how to add a spell to your spellbook, how to save and load a spellbook.
Sweet. So we've got a kick-ass spark now. What is this? Delivery of spells. Oh, sweet. We got some stuff. Master of the Wild Hunt. A human druid. He's got little dogs and things. And a necrotic plague. Dig in. Damn, that is amazing. Bit of digging in. Teleporting's always good. Oh, that's my dragon I wanted. Sweet. And a bear grip. It's just like a dude that gives an awesome hug, I guess. Each enemy creature that starts his turn is adjacent to enchant. Blah 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 blah. Give him a big ass hug. Your first adventure awaits. Play a guided training mission as your first game. Practice basic combat procedures and then put everything you've learned into action in a battle against your instructor and his minion. The yeah, I said it. Sweet. We'll do that one. Yeah, we'll give that one a miss for the time being. I think it's time for a cup of tea.